Everyone, Justin Haggerty here from IDRA. I want to take some time to speak with you about our new insurance service that we started providing 3 weeks ago. There's been some questions and there's some things that I want to clarify just to help you better understand what we're providing. So 3 weeks ago we launched the first primary insurance for drone pilots worldwide. This is very significant because it is the first primary versus secondary insurance. And also it allows pilots to be covered no matter where they are in the world. There's no sanctioned areas that you need to be in to be covered. As long as you comply with regulations, our rules and regulations, our safety manual, and the laws that are in effect in the area that you're flying, you're covered, except for certain security hotspots that the UN has designated, like Iraq, Syria, North Korea, etc. So we've had some great success in the past 3 weeks. Some of the reasons why we wanted to offer this service. Since I founded IDRA, I wanted to offer memberships to the association. However, I didn't want to offer a free membership or something that was loose in terms of its meaning. I wanted members to be able to say exactly why they're an IDRA member, why they're willing to pay like an annual membership fee for it, that it means something to them, that it's applicable to the user or to the member. And for the past year, we've recognized that insurance was definitely something that we as a community or as a leader in the community needed to figure out, because we've heard several or a couple dozen horror stories that have come out of not having the right coverage for the drone pilot. And that comes from having secondary insurance, or that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're covered, that forces you to exhaust all your options in terms of insurance, like housing, auto, whatever it be, to exhaust those other options before you're covered. And for me, it doesn't make sense to me to ever pay for a service if I'm not 100% guaranteed that I'm going to receive it. So that's why primary, we worked really hard to be able to achieve for this policy. Now, other things, allowing pilots to fly worldwide, to travel where they want, to fly where they want, as long as they're in compliance with the rules and regulations, to be covered. We didn't want to tie pilots down to flying in sanctioned areas or specific areas that are designated for RC pilots or for drones, because it's like an automobile. We can drive anywhere there's a road, and even some places off-road. Now, in terms of the compliance for rules and regulations, is the same thing as a car. If you run a red light, you broke the law. You're not going to be covered for a claim that could have happened by crossing that intersection. So we wanted to make sure that the rules, or the same mentality or culture of adhering to rules and regulations, would be the same. So why did we make it? I already talked about some of the horror stories that we've heard about, that we wanted to solve and come up with a policy that would protect those issues. But also it goes straight down to our main goal of growing the community. In order to grow this sport into something that's long lasting, that's going to be around long after I'm on the earth, we needed to provide a service that would protect the community as it grew. If the community is unsafe and other outside variables could then hinder its growth and prevent it from reaching its full potential, and the sport as well. So this primary liability insurance is for the pilot, not for the drones themselves. Now, we do break down the cost of membership or for this policy by drones that the member will operate. The reason why we did this, and I'm just going to answer this question now, or clarify this question. So it's for 2 drones, $165 a year. For 3, $215, and for 4, $265. For anything more than 4 drones, please contact us at insurance@idra.co, and we can build a custom policy for your needs. When we were building the policy with Avion Insurance and their underwriters, the risk assessment that was made determined that the number of aircraft that a member would use, as that increased, would result in a higher or a larger potential for liability claims, which, in order to offset that cost for the underwriter, we had to break it up into the number of drones per member, which at the end became 2, 3, and 4. Anything higher than that, we would have to build a custom policy for that member's needs. So the insurance company that we were able to work with was Avion Insurance. Just to tell a little bit about them, Avion Insurance is an aviation insurance specialty broker that has been placing and servicing aviation insurance risk for over 30 years. Avion has earned a superior reputation of negotiating optimal terms with their clients, strengthening their strong relationships with every major underwriter in the insurance industry. We sought out several different insurance companies. Avion was the best for the job. With the partnership with them, it wasn't about the money. It was about providing the best service for the dollar to actually protect pilots in our growing industry and our growing community. Because just going back to our main goal, we can't grow the community if it's not protected. And Avion Insurance, who has started to grow its services for pilots, for drone users, recreational and commercial, they felt the same as us. And because it wasn't just about the profit, but the service, the quality of the service that we can provide, that's why we felt that they were the best fit. And because of that, we were able to get the price for this $1 million primary liability insurance as low as possible, to where it's cost effective no matter where you are in the world. So along with the $1 million primary liability insurance for drone pilots, we were able to tack on another service, event liability insurance, a $2 million policy. Because it was a bundle that we had with the underwriter and Avion Insurance, we were able to get the cost down as well, which is awesome. When we started organizing races back in 2015, and we would approach a venue to host, a race for us, the cost for a $2 million policy, which is usually what a venue asks for, depending on the location, was anywhere from $330 to $600. And for us starting out and not having a big budget, that really kind of hindered the potential or the budget that we could set towards, let's say, adding more gates to the track, or getting another or better lap timing system, or more ground stations, getting an extra camera crew. Whatever it was, that extra money that could have been in our pocket could have went to that and improved the venue. So with us being able to get this cost for event insurance down to $200 is something we're really excited that we can provide the events that we sanction and support, especially for, let's say, the Challengers Cup. So as I promised before, I wanted to clarify some questions that we've been getting on social media and on our email, the most frequent questions, that way that I can hopefully shed some light and clarify any questions that you have. So I already talked about the number of drones that correspond with the membership, and I understand. I got one question the other day that asked, why does this matter when I'm only flying one aircraft at the time? And I already talked about the risk assessment that was provided, which is what determined the cost for that. So what information do you need to register? And I know on our site it talks about uploading licenses, uploading registrations, numbers, pictures of aircraft. Not all countries around the world have the same regulations. Not all countries demand licenses if you're going to be flying FPV for money, i.e. racing. Not all countries demand registering your aircraft. So to mitigate this, if your country does not have those regulations, then that's why we suggest for you to either upload or email us at insurance@idra.co pictures of your aircraft. That way that for whatever happens, a future liability claim, that we're more informed to help you out. Now if you do have, if your aircraft are registered, or if you do have an insurance, then we do recommend that you provide us as much information as possible. And that also applies to the future. Let's say you're not registered, or your aircraft aren't registered now, and you don't have a license as a pilot, but you do get one in the future. Go ahead and send us an email. That way we can update your file, because the better we're informed, the better we can help you in case you do have a claim in the future. So primary versus secondary, I already talked about this earlier in the video, but secondary insurance is not guaranteed that you're going to receive your coverage or your policy. It will demand that you exhaust all other options before that insurance policy picks up your claim. And like I said, it doesn't make sense to me for me to spend my money that I worked hard for a service that's not guaranteed. And that's why we wanted to provide primary. As long as you are following regulations and being safe while flying, we understand that things happen. That's why you're paying for your liability coverage. So we will guarantee, as long as you are following rules and regulations, that we will cover you. And with that said, all claims go through IDRA, not to Avion Insurance. We will handle and manage all claims through our email at insurance@idra.co. So why do we only cover recreational use, practicing and training, and racing, and not commercial or for flying your aircraft for any business reason? The reason is, and this is how it was explained to me and how the insurance industry is handling commercial insurance policies, is that the risk assessment that is designed or that is built for your policy correlates to the risk associated with that commercial service that you're providing. For example, if you're surveying a pipeline, inspecting a pipeline, there's a certain risk associated with that because you're flying out probably in a remote area, and the risk associated with maybe flying into the pipeline. And compared to, let's say you are a media producer and you're flying your aircraft, filming in a downtown area, that risk associated with that is probably going to be higher than the one surveying the pipeline. So that insurance policy is going to be higher, and because it's designed to handle that risk or to cover that risk. And because of that, Avion Insurance demands that you go through them for all commercial use. We will not handle any commercial, just recreational use, practicing and training, and for racing. Will we eventually protect drones from any procured damages while flying? At this moment, we're gathering data for damages to aircraft. Right now, the insurance industry doesn't have enough information to best forecast or to build policies to handle damages on drones. As time goes on, the more data that we gather, we'll understand what exactly we want to cover for damage. Frame damages. Let's say, I know cameras, most people already insure their cameras through wherever they purchased, fire damages, etc. Those are all things that we're considering as we start to accumulate this data. I already talked about event insurance. If you're an event organizer and you come to IDRA looking for event insurance, we only provide event insurance to those races that we sanction. Because of the reason is for us to ensure that the race is running safe, we want you to use our rules and regulations, our safety manual, our risk assessment for the event before we cover it. And because of that, it fits very well with the races that we're sanctioning and supporting for the Challengers Cup. So just to recap, because I know I spoke for a while, the insurance service that we launched 3 weeks ago is $1 million liability policy, primary insurance for drone pilots. Worldwide coverage. There's no need for a sanctioned area or sanctioned designated field. As long as you adhere to our rules and regulations. For example, if your country doesn't have rules and regulations to the standard that other countries have, because not all countries have figured it out, and there's not an overarching international treaty that covers drone regulations, that use ours as a baseline. Our safety manual pretty much covers the safety aspects that you would look for across all different regulations. So as long as you follow ours, follow the rules or the laws and regulations that are in effect where you're flying, you're covered. We want to promote a culture of compliance. The better we do this, then society will see us in a better light and help foster our growth, the growth of our industry and our community. And that's exactly why we wanted to provide this service. Our main goal at IDRA is to grow the community, and the best way to do that is to make sure that it's protected. So again, our annual membership is tied to this insurance service. It'll be $165 a year for $1 million policy to cover yourself to fly 2 aircraft, $215 to fly 3, $265 to fly 4. Any more than that, please contact us at insurance@idra.co, and we can build a custom policy to fit your needs. Additionally, please contact us on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, even on YouTube, if you have any questions. Or email us at info@idra.co, insurance@idra.co, and we will be happy to answer any questions you have via email, even hop on a call with you, schedule a Skype call, just to make sure that you fully understand our service, our insurance, to the best of the ability that even we understand it. Because this is for you. This is to make sure that you're protected and that you're covered from any potential liabilities that could happen in the future, because you never know. So again, you can go to our website at idra.co, go to the memberships. You can see what we provide for insurance. You can download our rules and regulations, our safety manual, and even our risk assessment just for more information for yourself, to better understand how this policy works and what we're looking for in terms of compliance with regulations and to be safe about flying. So if you're not a pilot and you're watching this but you're looking for more information, please contact us. We'd be more than happy to give you more information, to show you what sites to to go to help you get started and start flying. For all the pilots that are out there, I hope you're as excited as we are for us to start offering memberships in our insurance service. Like I said, our main goal is to protect you flying for fun, practicing and training and racing to make sure you're covered. As always, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you all at the next race.